नॉर्मली थर्ड जो टॉपिक है हमारा इंडस्ट्रियल के अंदर जितने भी एनर्जी स्टेबल करना, कितना पावर कंजम्पशन हो रहा है, तो ये सब चीजें हम कैसे एनालाइसिस करेंगे। ओके, इसमें हम लोगों का एक प्रोजेक्ट होगा। हमारा जो ईवी जो बैटरी जो होता है, वेहिकल का बैटरी, वो कभी क्या होता है, ब्लास्ट हो जाता है, ओवर करेंगे, ओवर होने के कारण, तो उसको कैसे हम लोग रोकेंगे, तो इसके ऊपर हम लोग प्रोजेक्ट करेंगे। तो हमारा
बैटरी का यहाँ पे जो बैटरी है उसके साथ इसी तरीके का एक एप्लीकेशन लगा हुआ है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर कूलिंग सिस्टम कुछ नहीं है, नॉर्मल उसके हमें बैटरी वगैरह है वहाँ पे कि जो टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा हो रहा है वो कट डाउन कर रहा है, तो वही आप यहाँ से
हमारा जो एम है आज का, मॉनिटर एंड एनालाइज द पावर कंजम्पशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल मशीन, जिसके लिए इसके साथ हम लोग प्रोजेक्ट जो कवर करने वाले हैं, इसको हमारा इंडस्ट्री को दिखा सकते हैं। तो हमारा एक बैटरी, ईवी बैटरी कितना एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करता, उसमें कितना करंट का लोड दे दिया गया है, वो मोटर का ऊपर करंट को वो ऑटोमेटिकली ऑटो कट हो जाएगा, ऑफ हो जाएगा। तो इसके ऊपर हमारा जो एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है हमारा बैटरी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, तो बैटरी को कैसे हम पुल करेंगे, हमारा कंपोनेंट में क्या क्या लगने वाला है। सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो है आर्डिनो या माइक्रोकंट्रोलर, जिसको कॉमन है हमारा। करंट सेंसर के लिए हम लोग ACS 712 करंट सेंसर, हमारा कितना करंट कंज्यूम हो रहा है या कितना करंट, कितना लोड हम लोग दिए हैं, इसके लिए हम लोग SD कार्ड मॉड्यूल लगा भी सकते हैं और सीरियल मॉनिटर से भी कर सकते हैं। SD कार्ड इसलिए क्योंकि हम लोग हमेशा ऑब्जर्व करते रहेंगे, तो एनालिसिस के लिए एक SD कार्ड में एक्सेल से बनते रेडी रहेगा, हम लोग हर 1-2 दिन के बाद चेक कर सकते हैं, तो उससे भी क्या मेरा कितना हीट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, कितना करंट का लोड है, SD कार्ड के थ्रू भी हम लोग कर सकते हैं, डिस्प्ले के थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं और सीरियल मॉनिटर के थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं। अब हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे कैसे, तो ये हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या क्या है। प्रॉब्लम ये दिख ही रहा है कि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि मेंटेन नहीं होने की वजह से ब्लास्ट हो जाता है, तो उसको कैसे रोका जाए। तो ये हमारा ब्लॉक डायग्राम है, जिसमें मेन आर्गुमेंट है, वोल्टेज सेंसर भी, करंट सेंसर, टेम्परेचर सेंसर, सारे सेंसर, कूलिंग फैन, एक्सप्रेस मॉड्यूल। अगर हम लोग पूरा प्रोजेक्ट को अगर देखें तो ये काफी चार्जिंग हो, मोटर, फैन, टेम्परेचर सेंसर, हम लोग बैटरी के से टच करके हम लोग एक सबसे पहले टेम्परेचर सेंसर और क्या है वोल्टेज और करंट सेंसर, दोनों सेंसर लगाएगा। अगर बॉडी उसका हीट हो रहा है, हम लोग लास्ट क्लास में ऑलरेडी थर्मोमीटर चेक कर चुके हैं, है ना, तो हम लोग DHT लेवल और 1135 दोनों से कोई भी एक सेंसर लगा के हम लोग चेक कर सकते हैं कि बैटरी का वोल्टेज टेम्परेचर कितना है। आज हम लोग ACS 712 का यूज समझ लेंगे ताकि हम लोग करंट एंड वोल्टेज मेजर करना आ जाए, तो ये भी प्रोजेक्ट रहेगा। लॉजिक क्या है, अगर ओवर हीट होगा तो हमारा कूलिंग फैन ऑटोमेटिकली ऑन हो जाएगा, जैसे ओवर हीट होगा फैन ऑन हो जाएगा ताकि उसको ठंडा कर जा सके। अगर उससे भी ओवर हो गया ऑटोमेटिकली रिले ट्रिप कर जाएगा, हमारा चार्जिंग भी बंद जो भी है एलसीडी में दिखाएगा, प्लस एसएमएस के थ्रू हमारे पास फोन में भी एसएमएस आ जाएगा कि ओवर हीट हो रहा है या ओवरलोड हो गया है। इसके लिए हमारा ये पूरा सिस्टम है, इतना हम लोगों का दोनों बेनिफिट भी आगे बढ़ यू नो ऑलरेडी हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं। रिले मॉड्यूल ठीक है, मेन है इसका वोल्टेज सेंसर एंड करंट सेंसर, मेन है कि हम लोग इसको यूज कैसे करेंगे। नॉर्मली हम लोग जानते हैं कि अगर मुझे वोल्टेज मेजर करना होता है तो पैरेलली कनेक्ट करते हैं, अगर करंट मेजर करना होता है तो सीरीज में कनेक्ट करते हैं। इसका भी हम लोग कनेक्शन देखेंगे। यहाँ पे हमारा इनपुट ये है, आउटपुट एक साइड, एक तरफ 5 वोल्ट ग्राउंड एंड जो सिग्नल है वो पिन हमारा किसी भी एक पिन से कनेक्ट हो जाएगा, एनालॉग पिन या डिजिटल में, ठीक है। दोनों ही सेंसर है हमारे पास। हमारा एलसीडी लगेगा या सीरियल मीटर लगाएंगे हम लोग, बैटरी, टेम्परेचर सेंसर या कोई टेम्परेचर सेंसर को यूज कर सकते हैं, पोटेंशियोमीटर, चार्जर है। तो ये हमारा अब आता है, ये तो ठीक है। अब आता है कनेक्शन कैसे होगा। कनेक्शन यहाँ पे समझाया हुआ है। कनेक्शन में हम लोग का आर्डिनो यूनो जो है हमारा एनालॉग पिन, ये जो करंट सेंसर या वोल्टेज सेंसर का एक पिन जो सिग्नल पिन है वो एनालॉग 0 में, टेम्परेचर सेंसर का भी एनालॉग 1 में, दोनों डेटा को ले लिए। अब बैटरी के साथ हमारा टेम्परेचर सेंसर एकदम टच पे रहेगा, जैसे ही छुआ तुरंत इसको सिग्नल मिलेगा और ये क्या करेगा, ये इस रिले को फ्लिप कर देगा। कौन सा रिले को, जो 2 नंबर पे कनेक्टेड है रिले को, तो ओवर चार्जर रिले, तो ये जैसे रिले को फ्लिप कर देगा चार्जिंग पूरा बंद हो जाएगा। और एक कूलिंग फैन के लिए भी रिले लगा दिया हुआ है, ताकि अगर ओवर हीट हो कूलिंग फैन, तो ये 3 नंबर वाला रिले है, 3 नंबर पे। हाँ ओके। अब ये किसी कूलिंग फैन के लिए है, तो एक है ओवर चार्जिंग के लिए, एक है कूलिंग फैन के लिए, एंड तीसरा जो रिले है हमारा ओवर डिस्चार्ज रिले, मतलब जब लोड ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, करंट ज्यादा हो जाएगा, तो हमारा वो मतलब रिले फ्लिप कर जाएगा एंड जो भी हमारा लोड लगा रहेगा वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाएगा, तो बैटरी मेरा सेफ हो जाएगा। अब अगर क्वेश्चन की प्रोग्रामिंग आगे जितना सबसे उतना उससे ज्यादा प्रोग्रामिंग काम होता है। हम लोग ये काम करेंगे। सबसे पहले तो हमारे पास करंट सेंसर, सारे सेंसर हम कनेक्ट कर लेते हैं। ये सेंसर करंट सेंसर और एक है बजर। बजर के लिए मैं रिले मॉड्यूल की जगह पे मैं इसको भी यूज़ कर सकता हूँ या हम डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं। इसके लिए मुझे लोड जरूरत नहीं है मुझे इसका, तो उसके लिए फिर से मुझे सप्लाई चाहिए। तो हम लोग ये बात करेंगे, मुझे बस इंडिकेटर चाहिए, जैसे ओवर हीट हो एक प्लस एक माइनस, एक प्लस और एक माइनस मैं कितने में पिन में लगा देता हूँ। जैसे उसमें कनेक्ट किया हुआ है 2 नंबर और 3 नंबर, किसी में भी हम लोग 3 नंबर में लगा देते हैं एंड और एक ग्राउंड। ऑलरेडी हमारे पास ग्राउंड बता है, 3 ग्राउंड रहता है। नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम है अब इसका लेंगे, इसको अब बीसीसी कहाँ से मिलेगा, ठीक ना। अभी अब मेरे पास सारे पिंस खत्म हो चुके हैं, सारे पिंस खत्म हो चुके हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
कंपोनेंट सर कौन सा वेबसाइट से लेते हैं सर?
जनरल हम तो लोकल दुकान शॉप से।
हाँ, एक बार कंपोनेंट्स के कोई ये था वेबसाइट था,
कंपोनेंट्स है, रिपू है, रोबू,
वहाँ से मैं 2-4 बार खरीदे थे वहाँ,
ये बहुत ही अच्छा है।
इस प्राइस में मिलता है।
अब मेरे पास यहाँ पे एक और है, मेरे पास 3.3 वोल्ट, मैं चाहूँ तो उसको,
3.5 वोल्ट एक था।
हाँ तो उसको भी मैं यूज़ कर सकता हूँ। प्रॉब्लम अब बस ग्राउंड को लेके है कि ग्राउंड में कहाँ से लगाऊँ।
कॉमन के नहीं कर सकते हैं सर?
कॉमन नहीं करेंगे हम लोग, तो ग्राउंड हमारा वैसे है कौन सा, ग्राउंड हमारा है जी, तो इसको मेरा ग्राउंड के साथ हम कनेक्ट करने वाले हैं कहीं पे भी। ओके, इसको हम लोग टैपिंग करेंगे। तो कर लेंगे। ये सारे सेंसर हम लोगों का कनेक्ट हो गया। हार्डवेयर कंप्लीट हो गया है, हार्डवेयर हमारा कंप्लीट हो चुका है। अब बस बचा है लोड देना।
एसी लोड देने से काम,
एसी लोड देने से भी काम करेगा, डीसी लोड देने से भी मेरा काम कर जाएगा, ठीक है। तो लोड के रूप में क्या इसको
जो करंट सेंसर है सर वहाँ पे कैसे ये वो मतलब करंट तो इनपुट कैसे देंगे उसको?
हम एक सप्लाई देंगे, 5 वोल्ट का ही सप्लाई देंगे। और ये कहाँ पे लगा हुआ था, तो सिग्नल अभी तक दिए नहीं है, एनालॉग पिन में हम कनेक्ट कर लेंगे। मेरा ये तो हो गया, ग्राउंड भी कॉमन हो गया। अब मेरे पास जो बचा हुआ है इधर का काम कंप्लीट। अब मेरे पास जो बचा हुआ है खाली लोड देने का।
हाँ वही सर,
लोड कहाँ से कनेक्ट करेंगे, लोड के रूप में हम लोग लोड के रूप में कनेक्ट करें सोलर लोड के रूप में और कम करें। ठीक है ना,
मगर उसको पावर कहाँ से देंगे?
और यहीं से हम देंगे, यहीं से हम टैपिंग करके इसको भी पावर देंगे, ठीक है। इसके लिए जंपर वायर चाहिए, कितना जंपर वायर चाहिए, 3 जंपर वायर। ठीक है, सबसे पहले इसको थोड़ा सोच समझ के कनेक्ट करना है हमको, तो थोड़ा डेंजर भी है। सबसे पहले सर्वो मोटर का पिन डिस्क्रिप्शन देखना होगा, कौन सा VCC, कौन सा ग्राउंड है और कौन सा सिग्नल पिन है। ठीक है, हम लोग एक काम करते हैं, पास में हम देख लेते हैं सबसे पहले हमारा सर्वो हम लोग पिन आउट रेड है पॉजिटिव, तो पॉजिटिव वाला सिग्नल मतलब इससे मुझे टैपिंग करना होगा।
पिन को थोड़ा डेवलप कर सकते हैं ये लोग, टैपिंग के काम में यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा कुछ मैकेनिज्म लगा के तो कर सकते हैं।
कर ही सकते हैं।
हाँ, ये जो हम लोग को करना पड़ रहा है हाथ जोड़ के इधर उधर, उसको जंपिंग करने में आसानी होगा।
बिल्कुल, हमारे रेप जो है यहाँ से हम लोग रेप का काम तो कंप्लीट।
कोडिंग बाकी है सर?
हाँ, कोडिंग हो जाएगी, ज़्यादा दिन नहीं लगेगा, क्योंकि ये सब तो हम ऑनलाइन से कर लेंगे। और ग्राउंड कौन सा है मेरा? ब्लैक वाला, ब्लैक।
टेम्परेचर सेंसर
टेम्परेचर सेंसर हम लोग इसको भी कर सकते हैं, यहाँ से हम कर देते हैं, तो आपके पास छिलने का जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगा।
अगर एक डाउट है मेरा कि ये जो हम प्रोजेक्ट बना है सर, अगर मैं थोड़ा सा घर में कुछ ये थोड़ा सा कोई प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया, ये जो सर्किट बोर्ड वगैरह है ये कब तक चलेगा?
चलेगा मतलब कितने घंटे?
हाँ,
जितना घंटे चलाइए, कोई ख़राब नहीं होता।
खराब नहीं होता ना उसका? मुझे वही डाउट लगता है, क्योंकि ये बनाने के बाद ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ दिन में ही खराब हो जाएगा।
नहीं, मैं होम ऑटोमेशन बना के आज 5 साल हो गया।
आप कौन सा बनाए?
होम ऑटोमेशन पूरा वाईफाई के थ्रू।
वाईफाई के थ्रू?
हाँ, तो मैंने बहुत सारे कस्टमर को बिक्री किए हैं। 5 ईयर्स हो गया, कुछ नहीं प्रॉब्लम।
कैसा प्रोडक्ट है आपका?
फिर बहुत सारा है। मैंने एक्चुअली हम लोग तो मैंने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं, तो हैंड सैनिटाइजर, फिर जो इंडस्ट्री का जो डिस्प्ले
डोर विंडो कंट्रोल, ये वाला कुछ कार्टन वगैरह।
हाँ, तो हमारा इसका काम कंप्लीट हो गया। अब मुझे सिर्फ कोडिंग करना है फटाफट। हम लोग अगर कोडिंग के लिए ChatGPT भी यूज करता हूँ।
लाइन नंबर कुछ शो नहीं लगा।
स्टार्ट मार लेते हैं।
ये टेम्परेचर
टेम्परेचर अभी तक डिटेक्ट नहीं किया, ठीक है। करंट कुछ भी दिखा रहा है, एनालॉग वैल्यू माइनस में ही लगभग
माइनस क्यों वाला
अभी वैल्यू मेरे वो तो एनालॉग वैल्यू के ऊपर पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव हमको दिखाना है, ठीक है। एक बार हम लोग टेम्परेचर मेरा मिल नहीं रहा है, सिस्टम स्टार्टिंग, अभी भी टेम्परेचर उसको मिल नहीं रहा है, ठीक है। उसको हम लोग करते हैं, ठीक है। शायद ग्राउंड का तार या किसी का तार खुला हुआ हो, तो ये भी बीच में हम किए हैं, और सब तो ठीक ही है। कोडिंग नहीं भूल होगा। जी पिन मेरा 2 नंबर पिन से कनेक्ट, ठीक है। इलेक्ट्रिक लेवल मेरा यस 2 नंबर पिन से ही कनेक्टेड है। एंड ये लास्ट क्लास में हम लोग जो प्रोजेक्ट का कोड किए थे टेम्परेचर सेंसर का, टेम्परेचर सेंसर था क्या लास्ट क्लास में? नहीं था ना,
स्मोक डिटेक्शन का।
ओके हाँ, हम लोगों का ठीक है। उसको भी हम एनालॉग में कर लेते हैं, एनालॉग 1।
सर हम इधर ही है सर, इधर ही
2 नंबर की जगह पे हम एनालॉग 1 को यूज़ कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा एक बार रीओपन करके हम लोग डिवाइस को कनेक्ट कर लेते हैं। आ गया 29 डिग्री सेल्सियस, एनालॉग वैल्यू में एकदम परफेक्ट दिखाता है। जैसे ये 30 डिग्री के ऊपर जाएगा, थोड़ा सा सोल्डरिंग आयरन रहता तो बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं तो कोई CPU का फैन के आसपास तो मेरा बजर बजना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा। अभी
लैपटॉप से गर्म
हाँ गर्म हवा तो है,
नहीं आ रहा है, ठंडा है, इसी से इसी वजह से ठंडा है।
अच्छा
बाहर जाने का बोल
ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। हम लोग कोड में थोड़ा सा कम कर देते हैं,
दीजिए हो जाएगा। अब 29 दिखा रहा है,
उसमें चेंज कर देंगे तो हो जाएगा।
ये तो अपने मन से बच भी गया।
क्योंकि यहाँ पे हटा दिया
यहाँ पर हटा दिया
ना अभी अपलोड नहीं किया है,
अच्छा तब तो
तो हाई हो गया। हाँ इसीलिए, क्योंकि हमारा टेम्परेचर इसका मतलब बढ़ गया है। सिस्टम स्टार्टिंग हाँ 30.2 डिग्री सेल्सियस। फिर अब मोटर अभी घूम गया, क्योंकि 2.0 एम्पियर ये मिली एम्पियर में दिखाएगा, तो करंट भी समझे। अब जैसे ये वोल्टेज लो होगा, मैं अगर यहाँ पे कोड में 31 कर दूँ तो ये बजर मेरा ऑफ हो जाएगा। मेरा अभी 30 सिस्टम स्टार्टिंग, अभी भी 29.8। अगर थोड़ी देर के बाद हम लोग
प्रॉब्लम का तो मैंने बहुत दिन से किया था भाई, इधर उधर में आइडिया है सर। तो कोड अपलोड करने का तरीका मुझे पता नहीं था, मैं सर्च भी नहीं किया था, मैं जस्ट खाली सोचा था कि
आसान है।
वो
30.2 जैसे होगा, अब तो 31 कर रही है, तो 31 के ऊपर जाएगा तभी बजर बजेगा, ठीक है।
बहुत सारा चीज़
थ्रेशोल्ड वैल्यू 31 है,
उसके ऊपर अगर जाएगा तो ये बजर बजना स्टार्ट हो जाएगा, ये भी, और मोटर को ऑफ कर देगा, ठीक है।
आर्डिनो बोर्ड से कोई जो पंप होता है ना, तो टैंकी फुल हो गया, पंप ऑटोमेटिक बंद हो जाता है, वो भी हो जाएगा।
रिले
तो वहाँ पे सेंसर क्या, इनपुट सेंसर क्या लगाएंगे, तो टैंकी पे जैसा इनपुट सेंसर क्या लगाएंगे,
फ्लोर सेंसर,
हाँ फ्लोर सेंसर होगा।
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess you all have your lunch. Yes. Great. So, as Madam has briefly given an introduction, so I am Bhargav. Today, I to a journey. So this journey, don't consider it like a presentation, but this will be like a journey of an electron. How we come from a generator to your living room. So I will take you through this journey. Throughout the journey, we will understand the sustainability part of it. We'll understand as an India how we are doing in renewable energy. We'll understand what are the sources of renewable energy. We'll understand what are the stakeholders are there in the industry and how the industry really works. So my main agenda will be keep it as realistic as possible how industry operates, because I have followed this industry, I am part of this industry for a very long time now, and my main agenda will be to help you understand how the real life it works. I will straight come to the point and help you throughout this journey, and I will try to keep it as interactive as possible. If you have anything in your mind, please let me know. I will be happy to clear it down. I want to keep this session as interactive as possible. So today we will discuss about automation, digitization, and accelerating sustainability for all. So, a few years back, we all were thinking like sustainability is a buzzword, but it isn't anymore. Sustainability is for real now. From your carry bag of traveling shopping malls and your electricity, every corner of the world is going towards sustainability. Because for a better world, we need more sustainable products. And as a part of this progress, electricity or our source of energy, they also has to be from a sustainable source. By sustainable, I mean without damaging our nature. So we have to sustain our nature for our future. So sustainability is very important. It is very important for all of us, for our coming generation as well. That's why it is very important. These are the topics we are going to cover today. So we will mostly cover the sustainable impact, the real part about Indian power market, how it works. Suppose you have been a long day, you are going to your home, going back, just turning a switch on. So going back to your home with a very tiring day, you come back to your bed, you enter your room, you just put a switch and you have your electricity and you have your fans, lights, TV, AC, everything turned on. But have you ever imagined like who are those players, who are those institutes, who are those government bodies, those who are actually working tirelessly behind that system where power is getting generated and it is coming to your home. It's very easy for us to just come to home and turn on the switches, but there has been a whole lot of things being done in the back end. I will take you through that journey today. So without any further on this slide, I will take you through to the next challenge. This is about how we have performed globally and how we are doing in India. So globally, it is seen that the overall energy demand has grew by 2.2%. So actually this is a sign as we grow. We are very familiar with the term GDP. So as we grow, our domestic output grows. The demand of electricity will be always be on a growing side.
And every corner of this world today don't want to increase their non-fossil energies. They wanted to go renewable. So as you can see, overall in the world, we have increased 2.2% the energy consumption. And out of which, this is a very important thing. Renewable energy growth is around the top of this, that is 38%. So renewable energy installations they have grown by 38%. So this is the light proof how serious we are with this sustainability and renewable energy. So this is possible with the help of some brilliant techniques, digitalization and efficiency. So I will take you through all those in morning exercise. So this is a snapshot of the output of global growth. So as you can see, the mainly 38% is from our renewable, 8% is nuclear, 28% is natural gas, 11% is oil, and 15% is coal. So if you compare, we have increased our coal usage by 15%, whereas we have able to replace our demand by 38% of the renewable energy. And in the far corner, there is also in percentage terms, there is my last slide, 2.2% in total energy demand, and our GDP growth is around 2.35%, and total energy demand, electricity demand is around. Now, let me come to India. So, we have already learned about our global perspective. Now, let us come back to India. So, what is our power market or power system? They consist of mainly three things. One is generation, one is distribution, and in the middle of these two, we have transmission. So, as the name suggests, in the generation part, the power is being generated. In the distribution, there are all the work is being done, managing your power and everything, and finally you are getting this power to your household, to your industry and everything. That's the distribution part where you are getting your power finally. So India is structured like this. We have three layers. Three layers have their own regulatory body. Everything is being managed in three different layers. As you can see, this is generating, then transmission, then the final distribution. Now, as we know, what are our three key pillars of our electric market. So now we come to a point where we will understand what are the sources I have for my electricity. So what all sources I can get my electricity. So in the far corner I can see the blue icon, that is my industry or my consumption point. So from where I can get my power? I can get my power directly from my utility. By utility I mean the local distribution company. For here it can be the WBSCCL, your local distribution company. In Kolkata we have the CESC, Calcutta State Electricity Supply Corporation. So these are the utilities. Now, the good part is about Indian power market, you are empowered to procure your electricity not only from the utility side, but you have other options available as well for you. So what are those options? You can put your own solar plant in your rooftop or in your free space you have available in your compound. You can also avail power through renewable sources like wind or solar. You can also procure power through the hydro systems as well. So the distribution utility is your primary source of power from where you got your connections and your transmission line date to your industry. Apart from that, you are empowered to take power from other sources as well. And going next, we will understand for the remaining of the options like wind, solar, hydro, or through power exchanges, how they are possible for the industries, how it is possible for them to procure power from those sources. Now, as we are talking about India, let's see how India is actually performing. How India positions its portfolio. So we are all concerned about our mutual fund portfolio, right? But electricity also has its own portfolio. There are different stakeholders who take very important role in this, managing our electricity portfolio. From where we want our country to move from here. As you all know, we have taken a target to become a net zero country by 2070. So the transition is already in process. So this is why it becomes very important how we are managing our power portfolio, our energy portfolio. So in the chart you can see, still we are getting 45% of our power from coal diesel industry. So here we have UPL, Durgapur power plant, so that is also a coal power plant. So that is, I guess, 500 megawatt of generation approx. So Jadavpur power plant is also coal-based business. So overall in India we have around 45% from coal and we have around 48% from our renewable energy. This DPL right opposite side. So actually I have been during my college course. No, this is state government obviously, but this all comes under, see, I will go through. So I have the data here. So this is the pie chart. You can see how we have positioned our solar, our wind, our coal power, and we have nuclear power as well. Like we have been using 10% from nuclear power. As you know, like world is going towards nuclear reactors, small reactors. So this is how we want, we want our own nuclear reactor technology as well, right? So this is the purpose, like nuclear is not only for the other purpose, but it's for the humanity as well. Like nuclear reactors can be used for this controlled power generation as well. So this is how we are positioned.
Do you have any information about that Jadavpur plant that was supposed to start in Lithium?
No, sir. As of now, there is no information in that. So, in the data part, as we can see, we have around 476 gigawatt of installed capacity. Just to remind everyone, so installed capacity means whatever the infrastructure we have, the potential of generation. But there is one concept, and mainly for the renewable installation, they have their own efficiency. Like for solar plants, we get efficiency around 20 to 25%, and for wind plants, we get around 30%. Like whatever the 100% we give, we get power only about 20% or 30% to wind. So India is a power surplus country, but it is a transmission deficit country. That means we have ample power, but we have like unavailability of transmission corridors as of now. So we are very well positioned as of now in the renewable state, and country is working tirelessly towards this renewable energy. And I will take you to next about from government initiative, how government is pushing for this renewable energy and all the other stuff. And most importantly, if you see, these installations are not only central government or state government. Majority of the part is the private players. The private player is a very important point in the portfolio. They own approx 256 gigawatt of the installations, and this is happened because of the increasing demand of our CNI sector, the commercial and industrial sectors. That's where it is important we learn more about the open access. As the name suggests, open access, I will take you through and help you understand how people are empowered to take power from other opportunities, alternative sources. This chart shows you the all India requirement of energy requirement. So see, if you see in 2014 and 15, how was the total demand of India? This is in million units. So unit is kilowatt hour. So in our electricity bill, we see 1 unit, we are reaching as 5 rupees, 10 rupees per unit. So million unit means 10 lakh units. So these numbers are given in million units. So as you can see how drastically we have moved. So electricity consumption is also linked with our growth. It shows our growth story as well. As a country, how we are progressing. It is also important. So see, right now it is a tentative data for 2025-26. This is from a report of LGBR, which is CEA, there is a government authority, Central Electricity Regulatory Authority. So they published this report. So this is, you see where we have reached. So this is our tentative consumption for the whole year. Now we come to a point, this is the most nightmare for our electrical industry or people those who are associated with management of this whole electricity. Peak demand. What is peak demand? So there is a term called load curve. Load curve is nothing but if you take a single day, what is your pattern, demand or consumption pattern? How you are consuming the power. There can be a time of the day where you consume very less, and there can be a time of the day you consume very high. So let me give you a real life example. Suppose it varies from geographies in India. Different geographies have their different load patterns. So suppose it's evening 6 o'clock in the evening and there is dark outside. Everyone will start turning on their lights in the home. People will come back from their office and everything. They will start turning on their AC screens and everything. So all this demand came in a minute interval. Like within 15 to 30 minutes, we can see a surge in the electricity demand. And this is why it is very important we have sufficient electricity available for our peak demand. Otherwise, it will be very challenging to manage the grids. So you can see, even if it is in peak demand, we have also increased our peak demand. So let me give you a real life example of mine. When I have been working in Uttar Pradesh State Load Dispatch Center, I was responsible for procurement through power exchanges. And it was like in the evening 6. Suddenly, there are 18,000 megawatt of demand suddenly they goes to 27,000 megawatt. Within 15 minutes there is a 9,000 megawatt of jump. So that period used to be very difficult for us to manage because you can't even power off the supply. At the same time, you have to keep the supply on for your household and everything. Because the electricity is not management of this is not only for the sake of management. You have to understand. If there is a power off situation anywhere, there can be multiple consequences. There can be hospitals where there can be some surgeries going on. There can be antisocial activities in the darkness. So it is not only for the sake of managing it, but it is for doing a better for our society. So it is very important we keep up to the mark and we always ensure the peak demand supply is met. So this is, you can see, we have also increased our peak demand supply and we are successfully meeting it. So this is how the things are being managed.
We use the software, we are taking the software.
Yes, so basically here comes the point of AI, ML, and there are different softwares, there are forecasting tools. I will take you through all of them slowly, what are the tools being used and how this is being managed and who are the responsible for this. Now let me come to the main part, open access. So this is very interesting point. In 2003, we as Indians only had the options to procure power from our local utility and we had options to put our own solar plants and everything. But as the time progresses, as the demand grows, the government thought to bring something on paper which will actually help HNI customers. See, the work of government is not only to promote renewable energy, but for the industries and everything, it also works for them as an incentive. Because they have to be incentivized, otherwise there won't be any jobs. And as they provide incentives, there will be more production, there will be more need of workforce. So that is why it is also a part. We give more flexibility to our industrial players to give them more options to procure electricity. So as the name suggests, open access means you are free to procure power from any alternative sources. So this is governed by the Electricity Act of 2003. This is the mother act, you can say. Based on this, all these open access things are managed. There are different amendments after that. I am not going through that, but main we have Electricity Act. That is the base of our open access. Open access, you are empowered to procure power from any of the suppliers, the market. So there are different type of options available. I will go next year. But the main thing is you have the option to opt for other source of energy. So I was talking about this regulatory perspective. So this Electricity Act, this came in 2003 and this is mainly governed by the central government. We have the regulatory like CEA and different other regulatory bodies are there. But main thing is being managed by the Electricity Act. So as we going towards renewable, there is a need that we transition from normal Electricity Act to a Green Energy Electricity Act as well. So to fulfill this need, government has introduced GEO, Green Energy Open Access. This is nothing but same giving you an option to procure anything you want. But what are the additional benefits? This has empowered small industries even to to procure power. Earlier to open access, if you are a big industry, you have a minimum requirement of 1 megawatt, you are eligible to procure power to open access. But through this green energy open access, now you are empowered for a small industries as well. You have a 100 megawatt, 100 kilowatt of demand. You can procure power. So this is how we are growing. Like it is not only savings, commercial savings for them. It will be easy for them to go more renewable. So let me give you an example. My elder brother has a distribution of ice cream, and he is having around 30-40 deep freezers with him. So these are for these people, those who are very small in scale, but still they are empowered to access to this electricity of their choice. It will fulfill their renewable opportunity, it will fulfill their commercial obligations, and it will help as a country to achieve more renewable, go more sustainable. Now we have understood what is open access basically. So open access, now we will understand what are the models available for us to procure power from open access. What are the mechanisms from where we can actually take power. Think yourself as the owner of an industry. Now, what are options for you to manage your own electricity portfolio where you will complete your obligation of renewable energy as well as you want more savings. As the industry gets more savings, it directly passed on to the consumer. That's how it works in the industry. There is production. If you optimize your cost of production will go down, and obviously you get more options in the market, you can market your product better. So it is very important for an industry to position their renewable energy and their portfolio. So now we will discuss about what are the options they have from where they can procure power. The very obvious one, and even we can see this in a very regular way, on-site solar panel. On-site solar panel means even in the rooftop of my home, your home, or maybe any college, school, anywhere, I can install solar rooftop. So now we are allowed to generate our own power. So I guess you all know about PX Solar Yojana. So where we are getting around 78,000 rupees of subsidies as well for using solar panel in our home. So this is one option where you can set up your own solar plant in your rooftop and you can actually save. If you see, you can do your calculations. If I go home today and I take out my local distribution company electricity bill, I will see I am being charged as 8 rupees, 9 rupees, 10 rupees per unit. In the summer times, I pay around 6,000, 7,000 rupees of electricity bill. But if I had a solar panel, my effective cost will come down to 3 rupees, 4 rupees per unit. So that is how we save. So we not only saving, we are also contributing towards sustainability. While I was in Gujarat, I was working for Gujarat State Load Dispatch Center. I was very surprised, like not a single home without a solar panel installed, and how beautifully they have used it. So in summertime, we all are like, our water in the water tank, they are very hot. Like when we go to washroom and anything, the water is very hot. What they do, they use these solar panels as a shade of their tanks, water tanks in their rooftop. So this beautifully they have use it, and at the same time they are even using that electricity. If you are using a 3 kilowatt of solar panel in your home, it will take around 300 square feet of space and around 1,50,000 rupees of investment, and out of that you get 78,000 reimbursed from this PM solar panel. So if any investment if you are doing, it has a ROI, like return on investment. If you calculate, if you calculate within next 5 years, you will get back your money through the savings you will be doing. So how will do the savings calculation? Suppose you have 100 megawatt of generation from your solar panel. That means you have replaced 100 megawatts from your local utility. And for 100 units, suppose the difference you are saving is 5 rupees per unit. So that is your 500 rupees savings a month.
You have some formula for
Sir, it is a simple formula, plus and minus. If I say I am getting 100 units,
I am using the same thing in my research.
yes, but I don't have an illustration here, but I am giving you an idea. Right. So you can save 500 rupees. Suppose your cost of generation from the solar panel is 3 rupees and your utility cost is 10 rupees. So the difference in the per unit cost your savings. So effectively a 3 kilowatt system can achieve its return on investment within 3 to 5 years of time. And you will be surprised to know the lifetime of a solar panel is approximately 25 years. Yes. So once you install a solar power, after 5 years that power becomes free for you. So this is the magic, you can say. You are making savings and you are taking a good initiative for your society as well and doing something in renewable energy. So that's why there is a government push as well. So I will go to the next topic. Now this is the most interesting, widely used option for our industries. We don't see it in our neighborhood. This is something called captive and group captive. So as an owner of an industry, if I want to procure large scale power, I want a 100 megawatt plant to be set up. So this is those modules where I can source power from. So I can sign a power purchase agreement with a renewable developer and I can start getting my power. It will be very cheap. So next part is like in our general homes, we can see we have consumed X amount of units and accordingly we have billed. But that is a different type of calculation is being used in our industry. This is a two-part tariff is there where there is a different demand charge, there is different energy charge. So this is very beneficial for the industries to go ahead with this type of procurement where you do some investment in group captive, you become a part of that project and you fulfill your energy requirements from the renewable sources. So this is captive and group captive. So this is an illustration mainly. You can see on the far corner of the screen how this group captive mechanism is set up in our country. As the owner of industry, you have to invest 26% equity in a particular project. See, when we are talking about industry and commercial, it's all about the commercial viability, that means money that comes in. Anything they are doing is an investment for them and they want a good return on investment as well. So you become a part of that project, that solar plant. Once a solar plant or a wind plant being set up, that is called a SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle. SPV is nothing but like a company. And as a group captive consumer, I become 26% owner of that particular park, solar park or wind farm. I become the owner. And remaining 74% of that project, that will be managed by the lenders or by the developers. So what are the benefits being a group captive consumer, where I am actually holding the equity of that particular project? Now government has given me options. Okay, you set up a group captive plant and we will giving you some waivers, some subsidies in your electricity procurement cost. In a state electricity, there are different heads of costs. So now government has decided, if you are a group captive consumer, I will give you a full waiver on cross subsidy and additional cross subsidy. What is this? This is nothing but a part of the entire electricity tariff, and there are some being charged to those industries where we are getting some subsidies, as there are farmers, there are people in the category those who can't really afford. These are the things being charged from the industries and other people to compensate those type of electricity suppliers. So now government has given us the option, okay, as you are investing in this, we will give you the waiver in this revenue. So you substantially reduce your cost of procurement around 3 rupees. It is different from state to state, but for open access, these two are very vital component of the total energy cost. It can consist of around 25 to 30% of the cost. So straight you are saving there. So this is what group captive is. You invest in the project, you become the part of this project, you start getting power as well as you start getting benefits of savings as well. Next, I have shown like these are some approval process. Like in real industry we face this, and what are the documents you need and what are the approvals you need from the management perspective. What are the things? So I won't take much time here, and I will go to the next slide. Okay, so there is another concept. So as I told you, everybody is financial part is included. So there are two types of group captive projects. One is single user and another is multiple user. What is the difference? In a single user, you are the only consumer of the project, and in the multiple user, you have multiple other owners of the industries or customers. You are equally sharing the plant with them. So we have two different options with us. Either it is a single user, where I am the sole off-taker of the power, I will 100% make that power, or I have multiple other people available with me. If I think from an industry perspective, I will go for a single user, but if I think from a developer perspective, I am a renewable energy developer, I will think going for a multiple user, because it's their benefit, and for an industry, for single user is beneficial. So here I have shown like what are the main differences, and the main difference is in single user there will be only one off-taker, and in multiple users there will be different owners of the project and different off-taker can be there. So this is another type of procurement. This is nothing but a third-party power procurement. So in this type of procurement, actually you don't need to mandatory invest anywhere. You just sign a PPA, power purchase agreement with the developer, and from the next day your power supply starts to your power. So this is not that much complex. This is easy. Relatively, this is easy to procure the power. Now here is the illustration. You can see mainly this is a solar park where energy is being generated. Now it is being transferred to the local grid. Grid means our transmission and distribution system. And in the middle you can see there is a circular dome. That is where everything is being managed. Everything, like from where the power is coming, from where it is going, and all the accounting of the power. The accounting, how much it is taking, who will pay how much money, all the accounting is being done. So from here our power flow is going and the money is coming from the industry and from your home, my home, it is coming back to the developer and the respective other parties involved in this flow. This is just an illustration of how offsite and group captive are different. So obviously group captive is definitely beneficial for large scale industries and it has different level of risk assignment associated with it. But TPA respectively is a safer option. But as you know, like more the risk, more the gain. It's same here. With more risk here, group captive, you can save more on your electricity cost. But in offsite, you can always get renewable energy, but you are less on savings cost. Now, so this is the most hot topic right now, virtual power purchase agreement. In India, earlier we have been using physical power only, right? But outside world is already very much advanced in this virtual power purchase agreement. This is nothing but a financial hedging with additionality. This is a tool basically where you have the option to buy renewable energy actually without not getting it physically delivered to your industry. So this is a financial tool. This is being used in the market and currently there are multiple parties involved. It has regulatory like CEA and as it is a financial hedging part, SETGOI, our securities board is also involved in this kind of supply. So this is also very important and future will be this. More of our procurement will be on virtual power purchase agreements. Renewable energy certificates, these are also virtual one. If we are buying brown power, brown is either from coal or from any other fossil fuel related, you have options to offset those buying renewable energy certificates. So one more important thing has come up in India, like for top few countries, big companies, for top few big companies in our country, they have to mandatorily fulfill their renewable energy targets. And against that targets, they will also be provided with carbon credits. So there a new market is also coming soon for this carbon credit. Like we buy share in share market, there will be market like where we will be trading these carbon certificates as well. You save your fossil fuel to non-fossil fuel renewable energy and for that you get rewarded with the carbon credits. And next you have an exchange for that and you get trade your carbon credits. So the market is coming very soon. In the last slide when we discussed about the renewable energy certificates, this shows what are the price we can buy these renewable energy certificates. So these are basically traded on renewable energy exchange, power exchanges. So I will discuss on that in the later part. But here we can see how it is priced in the market. So it is INR per megawatt. Earlier it was costlier. There is a two terms. One is the floor price, one is ceiling price. Floor and ceiling means That is the minimum price you have to pay, and ceiling price means the maximum you can pay. So it is being traded and bidding is done, competitive bidding is done, and then you get the allotment of the renewable energy certificates from the power exchanges. So this is the price chart basically, and lately it has greatly attracted the buyers. So market is going very good with these renewable energy certificates. Now, so we don't have only Indian companies in India, right? After liberalization, many MNCs are here in India, and they also have strict targets to become carbon free for their institute. It is not only as a country, but many companies have taken their initiative. They will go 100% renewable by 2025 or 2030. So for them, they have an option called IDIC. IDIC means International Renewable Energy Certificates. That renewable energy certificate I discussed in my last slide, that is only accepted in India, and the accreditation is only available in India. But if I discuss about IDIC, the part is same. The main agenda is same for both the things. But one is globally accredited, like they are accepted, and another one is only accepted in India. Outside, it is not accepted. But for global companies, they have to report it globally, their details. So for them, it is IDIC. Now in this chart, I will show you like there are different providers for IDIC and how the world is positioned, like in the acceptance. You can see there are RTC Energy, there are Geo, there are IDIC, there are national systems. So how the world is positioned and how they are accepting it. So you have a color code here, and accordingly as per the color code you can see like they are positioned. And as the right hand side chart shows, that's the price trend, how it was traded and how it was bought or sold in the market. So what is the main difference? One is accepted globally, another one is only for India. That's the main difference between REC and IDIC. Okay, so this is another type of procurement, and government has given a good push on this battery storage system. What is this? You know, solar panels are only working in a particular time of the day. They start from the 6:30 in the morning as we have the sun with us, and it stops its generation in the 6:30 p.m. in the evening as it comes darker in the day. So now what we do? As I said in the starting, we are a energy surplus but transmission deficit. So somehow we have to store this power, to store it in a different time. So that's where this new technology is not new, basically it is being used outside, but in India now this has been given a push. Like you have to use this kind of options as well, but currently it is very costly. The ROI is not there for industries and for others. So the adaptation is little slow, but slowly it will come. Where in the morning time, it is just like an inverter, like you store power in the morning time, and in the evening time you use it with the batteries. Just like our power bank we use it to charge mobile. So we charge the power bank and rest we can use it. It is same during the solar day. You store the additional power in the battery. In the later half of the day you use them.
What happens?
Hello. Okay, thank you. So there is one concept called net metering. So suppose I have some extra generation with me. Now I can directly export that power to the my grid. So that means if I have some surplus power and I haven't used my part, that energy will be sent to my grid or my distribution company, and I will either get compensated with money for that power, or in the next month I will have less billing for that amount of energy. Right now there are some disputes in acceptation, but in a CSC area there are very few cases where they have given this, but it is all about commercial. So WBSCCL is also doing business, right? Business. So if they give you the option to source your power, how they will pay you? Right? It is same for the industry as well. So there are some ambiguities, though on paper there are regulations. In West Bengal as well, we have the Green Energy Organization and we have this PM scheme. So you are empowered to give that. But on reality, they will either say you no or either say you yes. It will be ambiguity, and it is very difficult in West Bengal to actually get it accurate for home. And even in West Bengal, there is only one who has actually started their renewable energy power as ITC. They have open access for one plant. That is also, they have created their plant in Rajasthan. They are exporting power from Rajasthan to Lithium. But not everyone is as big as ITC, right? So in West Bengal there is some ambiguity, but in other states, most states there is also available. Yes. 100%. Even if you are not exporting, if you have installed your plant as per your consumption of your home, you can save the money. You can save. So now we see about the renewable regulatory part. Now we talk about what are my options, but who will manage them? What will be the rules for them? So for industrial level, there is an option. So now you discuss about access problem, right? But for industries, they also have this problem. What will they do with their additional power generated during the solar hours? What they will do? We cannot store power in large scale, right? It has to be produced and it has to be consumed. That's why we maintain our grid frequency at 50 Hz. That's why we have to maintain our grid frequency. So now for industries, you are allowed to bank your power. Means as the name suggests, bank. Okay, you have some additional generation in this particular time of the day. So you can use this power in the later half of the month for as per your need. So this banking comes here. So as I am saying about net metering, so you send the power to grid and you can use it either on a different time of the day in the entire month. So industries are also empowered in this through this banking mechanism. So in the daytime, and industry runs 24 hours, right? So this is also a very important point for industries, how they want to run their businesses so that they can actually get cheap power. How much they will production manage the production. In a daytime, in 24 hours we have like fixed rate for the entire day. But for the industry, they pay different rate for the different time of the day. Like for 4 hours they pay different, for night 4 hours they pay different rates, different electricity charges. So they manage their production accordingly so that they can reduce their costs. So there in the terms of banking provisions, it helps them to manage their access to electricity and they can use it anytime in the later half of the day. So we are also having this thing in India. Earlier when the banking first came in India, it was like for 1 year. It is like Jio coming and giving us 1 year of free data. So even when government is coming up with some initiative, it gives more flexibility. Like within a year, you can use it any time of for a particular year. But right now, it is being reduced to 1 month because adaptation is already there. First step, anything government is coming up, education is there. Next step is adaptation, and the final step is the widespread of that particular thing. Now it is widely spread. So now government is slowly taking the things on a smaller scale. So it is right now within a month's time you can use your excess energy in some different time where you are not generating from a renewable source as much as you are generating consuming, right? So this is the banking solution. Okay. So this is the interesting thing. Like central authority will pass the regulations and bills, but it is up to the state government how they will use it. You cannot, like state government can't force anything to be like implemented in the state. This is a part of state government. They will accept or not, it's their part, but they have, if they are accepting it has to be under the guideline of central regulation. So these are the few things, like you have to pay transmission charges, you have to pay reading charges, you have to pay this cost of the additional charge and standby charges. So these are all part of charges. We don't see this in our normal electricity bill, home electricity bill, but we see it in the industries. That's why it is become very important. You optimize your cost of procurement. You plan your procurement so you can save money. So there are different charges associated as well. Now let me come to the power exchange. So as I told, for stock market we have NSE and BSE where we go buy same stock, right? So for India as well, earlier we come to know like we have options like PPA, group captive and normal solar panels. But they are for long term power. Like you have to go for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of power. But what about I need power tomorrow? Who will give it? It's like swinging liquid of power. You need it, you get it. Right? So this is like to manage the grid as well, but to fulfill your immediate requirement as well. Let me give you a very interesting fact. West Bengal is a power surplus state, and our Bhopaleshwar power plant is awarded as the best performing thermal power plant of India. Yes. Yes. And West Bengal, from electricity standpoint, we are power surplus. And Bihar is very much deficit, you can say. Bihar, UP, these are very much deficit. West Bengal is the power surplus. And Jammu and Kashmir is also, because they have their huge options of hydropowers, right? So now this power exchange, as I told you, I need tomorrow, I need in next 30 minutes, I can get power for my business. So it is very important, whatever our consumption is, I take that much power only from my sources. Otherwise, there will be disturbance in the grid. So the main funda here is, as much as you are generating from your power plant, whole as the India energy, the same has to be the consumption point. The same will be there. If you are generating more, if your consumption is less, the frequency will go high. And if your consumption is more than generating less, your frequency will go down. So it is also very important we manage that one. So for that stability as well, government has introduced this power exchanges where I can fulfill my immediate power and not only buy. I can sell my excess power as well. I can become profitable selling my power as well. If you see in West Bengal situation, we are always in minus in our schedule. That means we are selling power in the different states. Like I have already fulfilled my need of the energy. Now I am selling the excess power to the different states and different things. So currently we have 3 power exchanges in India. The main is our IEX, Indian Energy Exchange. It's established in 2008 and at the same time it's PXIL. It is like Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani, both are brothers. They started at the same time, but these brothers currently have over 90% of market share and this is only have 3 to 5% of market share. But you will be surprised to know this IEX is a public entity and privately operated, but this PXIL is backed by NSE and National Commodity Exchange. Like they have government backing as well. But still, majorly it is 90% is IEX. So if someone is saying what is the rate of the power exchange, that means someone is referring to the IEX price only. So another new exchange has came up. It is like I have told you, it is duopoly. 2 people are working. and India लोग इनको तो ज़्यादा सारा मुनाफा यही मिला है, चलो एक्सपीरियंस बनाते हैं. So there is a new exchange as well, that is HPX, Hindustan Power Exchange, that is being established in 2022. Both are backed by PTC, PSC and ICICI Bank. So there are promoters basically of those exchanges, and these are very negligible transactions being there. Now as I know what are my conventional source of power procurement, now in my power exchange, how can I buy power? What are the sources available? So this is the very first option was introduced, that is day ahead market, short form DAM. We started in 2008 when we started the power exchange operation. So this is still the main preferred option for all the industries. Around 30 to 40% of the entire volume, whatever the trading is being done, trading here we buy and sell electricity in this exchange. So they have means if I need power tomorrow, so this is my tool. I will start bidding 10 AM in the morning and next day from 00 hours I will start getting the power. This is there, day ahead market. So I need power tomorrow, I will start getting power tomorrow. This is term ahead market. This is also started in 2019. So this is another segment of the market where I can procure power for 7 days, 10 days, 3 days. This is a different type. So I have all the options for whatever fuel I need. I can procure the power. So this is another option. Now, this has been lately the champion of power exchange, RTM, real time market. We can trade power in every 30 minutes. If I have some extra power, I can sell it for next 30 minutes. But if I want some power, I can buy it. Just consider, from my real life experience, I have been on Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh State Road Dispatch Center. It's a bright sunny day. I have already planned all my resources, all my power plants are running as per my requirement. Suddenly there is a rain, right? Suddenly there is a rain, and as rain, everyone will shut their ACs and everything, and power demand comes down. What I will do with my excess power? I can't store my power. Either it will go waste. If it is a waste, that means that is my commercial loss as well as grid unstability. Here comes the part. Like, okay, you have extra power, fine. But some other state, some other utility might have need of that power. So, you can sell that power in the market. There are buyers available, they will buy your power. during the summer time, Jammu and Kashmir becomes so much power surplus. They literally sell it for 50 paisa, 20 paisa per unit. This year it will come 0.05 rupees, that is 5 paisa per unit in the market. This much cheap it became in the market. So see, as a owner, where your one day electricity bill is 1 crore, and for this mechanism, you can get power at 1 lakh rupees for the particular day. Huge savings is there. So this is a tool to maintain your emergency. Either you need power or you want to sell power. You can manage your emergency part, as well as you can make up your losses. Either if you are wasting your power, that means you have bought it from somewhere, right? And why should you waste it? Let's sell it. So they can actually manage. And if they need it, suppose for an industry, it is very important. I am paying my workers, right? So it is very important the machines are running. If they are not running, that means I have zero production. I have zero production, then it is loss. So in that time, if I am paying salaries to them, I need power to keep my plant up and running. So it is also important to buy power for them. So that's why this becomes very important for this kind of procurements. Now again, let's come to the sustainability part. In the market earlier, we were trading the brown power. Brown power is coal-based power plant. But in 2021, government has introduced like these mixtures can also be used to procure green power. By green, I mean it can be wind, it can be solar, it can be small hydro. Small hydro power plants, those who are actually under 5 megawatt of capacity. So those are also now the participants. So this is about a little bit about the green term market, like same segments. Those are for the conventional power like coal and other things. But again, this is, you can see green turbine market, the segment is same, the timeline is same, only difference is you can get the green power from this option. So here I have actually summarized the role of power exchanges. So power exchange, it is very interesting. Like suppose you are buying and selling power, there will be a sense of winning or loss as well. Suppose I have to bid in the real time, like what price I want to buy my power. Okay, there is no one to tell me this is the price of the power. I will say, okay, I can pay 3 rupees for this power. I will bid. I want 100 megawatt power and I get pay 3 rupees. Now everyone, all across the India, people are bidding for their power, and there is a price discovery engine in this power market. And as per the price discovery engine, now as there is like result is being announced, okay, you get the power of now. So that's how the power is being allotted to the bidding party, and then it is being transferred to the transmission line. So see, electricity, it is important to understand. It is all about energy accounting. It is not that if you are buying power, suppose I have a plant in Rajasthan and I am buying using power here, that doesn't mean that the actual power is being generated in Rajasthan is coming to my plant. So in India, if you see, it is one grid, right? One India, one grid. There is a concept. So all the powers coming in the grid and all of the consumers are taking out power from the grid. And it is based around financial calculations. How the accounting of your energy is being done. Now, this is one of the important part. The first part, Sandhu sir was asking, like how we know, like what is our need, right? Because to generate power, you want to know how much I need, right? It is very important to know. Otherwise, I cannot just go and ask my generating plant starting in full power. That's not how it happens, right? So this automation and digitization is very important in this field because everything cannot be monitored by you and by me. It has to be some software, it has to be some machine, it has to be some tools available. It will easy my work. I have to understand what's happening. That's the digitization and tools that will help me to take my decisions. That's the automation part. Okay. So this is called forecasting. This is another important word. Like in the monsoon session, you know, our weather department has said tomorrow there will be rain, right? We have our department as well who will forecast what will be the need of my electricity for next 1 day, next 1 hour, next 1 month, next 1 year. So there is a whole team, those who are working with this AI and ML part. So there is a whole need of this. So forecasting engines are there. Those are mainly software. There are different products available. Those are few companies. I have been working with few of those companies. This is called EPM, Energy Portfolio Management Software. So there are forecasting engines. They can be linear models. They can be regression models. So those are the data scientists and the stats team, those who actually work on this demand forecasting, and based on this demand forecasting, the planning of generation is being done. How much the need of my electricity for my entire state or for entire India. As it is important to forecast the demand side, it is also important to forecast the generation side as well. Because renewable energy is unpredictable. You cannot say there will be how much wind will be blowing tomorrow or how much sunny will be outside tomorrow. So it is very unpredictable, like what will be your generation for renewable sources. So it is also very important that you forecast. So the forecast is not every time it will be 100% accurate, but it gives you an idea. Like how much I am going to get from my renewable sources. Renewable sources cannot be directly controlled. They are based on the weather parameters, right? So either I have to stop it or I have to keep it running. But as I am talking about this Jadavpur power plant, the generation can be controlled from that kind of generation. Like I can ramp up or ramp down my generation. So it is very important I also know what will be my generation for the next 1 day, 1 year, 1 month to plan to meet my demand side and generation side. So this is also very important. Okay. So as we all know about ChatGPT, so it's the AI model, right? But in our case, we have been also using this machine learning and this since very long. It's like machines have been fed with the data. They have historical data of 5 years, 10 years. They know how your load are basically during festivals. If it is our Kali Puja, there will be lighting everywhere. That means there will be more demand. So machine knows it, everything. They have the old data with them. Based on that, they give me an idea this will be my forecast. Either it can be generation, either it can be my demand. So they are so if I want the output, I have to give some input as well, right? So for that I have weather data. I have real-time historical data of the instance. So those are those input I have to provide, and and based on that, I will get my output. And actually, with this, we have actually increased our accuracy. Because this is all with data, and data don't lie. Right? So with the help of data, we have actually improved our efficiency in this forecasting, managing our demand side, and wastage management, wastage of energy. So we have actually did very good with this forecasting model. Sorry, sir? Right now, no, but previous companies I have been working with 51 Limited and Madara Energy Market India, we were there. So we have been building these models. There are different models like regression, linear regression, KAN. Those are codes. Like you know Python, you know SQL. Those are R codes. Those codes are being written by stats people. Those are the codes. Nothing but you feed data, like your historical data, and you get output. Yes. So there are different models, and R is a language. R is a language. See, we implemented the so basically, R is statistical to the user. Now once it is being written on R, now they have been transferred to the software user. They implement the software part. So one is the database part, where database we have all the historical data, and how we have the historical data. Yes. Historical, not only historical is around 60%, but it is also real time. How real time it is real time? Yeah, if you want that, I will add those things later and I can send you. So there are graphs and charts. So where there are models, like models are being built as per the geographical location, because every state has their different weather parameters and everything, right? So as per that, those models are there. Okay, now let's come to the digital infrastructure now. So these models are written, right? If the generation is coming from somewhere, the demand is going to somewhere, but how I will understand what actually happening? So if you go to SLDC, State Load Dispatch Center, they have a SCADA monitoring system. SCADA is supervisory control and data acquisition. So you have seen that red, green screen, big screen everywhere. Like those, I am sitting here. I have a big screen in front of me, and I can see all the data in front of me. So it is very important to know what's happening outside, because weather here is sunny. After 10 kilometers there can be raining, right? And suddenly that particular feeder has tripped. What happened? I can't understand sitting here. But who will help me to understand? That's the data. So this data screen helps me to understand what's happening. There are smart meters installed everywhere. The data is being based on the smart meter and it is displayed in the SCADA. You have all your transmission data. How much load is going on your transmission line, it is overloaded or not. Everything you can see on your transmission line data, your generation data, what power plant is giving what amount of generation, and your what district is consuming what power, what industrial figure is, how is doing, everything you can monitor in SCADA. Even you can also say if you are generating more or if you are conserving more. So this data, with the use of this data, you can actually take informed decisions. Because without data, it is very. Yes, I have been so we have been right. So we have right. So they can do anything. They can do anything, right? So one day I was living in Bihar and there is sudden power cut and there is one assistant engineer called me and said, how can you sleep? You know there is someone in the state operations are going on in the hospital and there is no power. How can you sleep? So how do you know it? There is no power. You are sitting in a city and somewhere 500 kilometers away, there is no power. How can you know it? It's all about data. You have total control of it. And if you have to manage your own state generations, this is the way. You see the data, you give instructions to manage it. I don't have the illustration here, but I have been on all those things. I have been in UP, which is the largest power consumer of India, and I have been in Bihar, the poorest part in electricity, where yes. So this is the SLDC where sir you were saying. So it has full power to control your electricity in the state. It has the full authority. If you want to cut power, if you want to shut down power plant, if you want to start a power plant, they have full authority. They doing the grid monitoring, they are scheduling the generator. I can tell you, okay, you are my power plant, start generating more. I need more power. You are empowered program, I don't need more power now, please ramp down. My work is over. You are supervising all the open access in your state. You are giving instructions of curtailment. Like, band kar do, ho gaya, aur nahi chahiye. You are also managing the voltage. It is very important. So voltage and current has a relation, right? V equals to IR. So as like voltage is like on a good option, I will obviously reduce. But if voltage drops, the power consumption will be more and your electricity bill will be more. So it is also a very important part. You keep a track of your voltage as well. From this voltage and current, we are having a relation of power factor. So it is very important to keep the power factor and unity. That means 1. So that management is also being done by the SLDC. So SLDC is a very beautiful place. You can control everything of your state electricity power. Okay. So in my current company, so this is a beautiful case study. I can show you how the SCADA system looks basically. So we have been working for Capgemini. Okay. So we have been working for Capgemini. So at Schneider we are a complete portfolio company where we can give you hardware to software, everything. So for Capgemini, we have also they are monitoring all their campuses, all over campuses in India. Capgemini has business centers all over India. Now they want to set up a control system, just like their SLDC, where they can control all their data. So with our system, they have transitioned to 100% renewable electricity. Now they are on 100% electricity, and they have reduced 29% of their consumption. They have already reduced. How they have reduced? They have reduced their power. This is actually their BP. I have their interaction with their BP. So they have actually reduced 29% of their power.
Capture the effect of partner Schneider Electric has been resonated with the ethos of life is on. They deploy infrastructure and IoT-based architect and control system. So they said with the ethos of
same big screen you have is small screen as well in front of you, and it's all digitized. You can see real time and you can take a decision just a click. You can turn off light anywhere. You can turn off light anywhere. That's IoT, Internet of Things. So right now we know it's all smart plug and smart switch. So we have that portfolio range as well, smart plug and smart switch. If I want to turn on my AC in my home standing here, 200 kilometers, I can do it.
Such an IoT-based architecture to manage, monitor, and control all the data from a central location. Today we call it as Energy Command Center. Energy Command Center connects and controls so many of our campuses and 70 consulting areas. The collaboration resulted is 24/7 monitoring of all energy consuming assets across our campuses, 29% reduction in energy consumption, and we transitioned successfully to 100% renewable electricity for our own operations. We also export excess renewable energy across 4 of our campuses to the local electricity grid. The Energy Command Center serves as a role model for capturing, providing eco-structure solutions for microgrid, IT, building operations, power, asset management, and advisory services. With EcoCare membership service plan, Schneider experts are remotely monitoring all our critical assets and dispatching service representatives whenever it is necessary. The EcoSector microgrid advisor provides guidance on managing distributed energy resources very efficiently and effectively. With Schneider Electric, we also deploy green labeled products for our energy consuming assets. Ethernet enabled master plan, NT breakers. We also deploy EcoSector transformer export, advanced power quality monitoring devices, and very efficient modular guarantee basis for our operations. Interoperability of software with an Energy Command Center, integrating multiple applications for single point control is something we are achieving with it. Capgemini has an ambition to reduce our client carbon emissions by 10 million tons by 2030. This partnership with Schneider Electric aims to reimagine the world and ensure a sustainable future for everyone.
It is solar rooftop. So actually from hardware to software, like everything is Schneider Electric, right? So see, just understand, like that 23 campuses and 70 plus buildings, all are being managed from one place. So I have to take this case on the construction. How can I go back to that presentation? So this is a case study basically how digitization and electrification can really help us reduce the energy, because I can for like मैं पंखा आया रूम से मैं पंखा बंद करना भूल गया, that is waste of energy. So they all can monitor sitting in a 200 square feet room and they can take decisions. That much empowered there. Now this efficiency part, because there is very fundamental rule of accounting, the money you save, the money you earn. That means whatever the savings you have done, that is actually you have earned it. So there has been different steps being taken from our government to achieve more efficiency. So as you know, we have 2007 we have to carbon neutral, and to achieve that we by 2030 government has actually taken this initiative. So all the electric equipment you have seen 3-star rating, 5-star rating, those are basically energy efficiency rating. Because how much energy efficient those are. So those are different steps being taken by industries, and it is also applicable for large scale industries as well. How their machines are performing. The more efficiently machine will be performing, the less consumption will be there, right? So we need more of this initiative to save more of electricity and become more efficient. Okay, now this is another part. Now we have been doing physical procurement of power, we know. Now, how we control our emissions? There are carbon emissions, there are different kind of emissions. If you are owner of the factory, you have 100 things to think about. So there are different things. So there are 3 types of emissions one industry can do. One is scope 1, one is scope 2, one is scope 3. Scope 1 is direct. If you are running a factory, you are burning coal, so direct emission is low. Your second is you are procuring electricity. So that's the second type of emission. And third, suppose you are faculty of this college, you are communicating by a car, not a EV. That is also being counted as a scope 3 emission because you are a part of this value chain. All the other value chain partners comes on this scope 3. So these are actually coming, so industries have their own protocol, they have to report it everything. So this reporting is being done, so those are being done in under scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. And everyone has a different target to reduce emissions in these 3 levels. This is actually under scope 3, which is the most difficult one because you know how much you are consuming electricity, you know how much you are doing the production. But there are in your value chain, there are different things. Your employees are commuting, you are doing go to business travel, your vendors are making what kind of consumption. So those all are actually coming into this scope 3. This is the most difficult part in this type. But for Indian 500 or 500 company and for global as well, this reporting is important. So why important? First you identify what are your emissions, then you act accordingly and plan how you want to achieve your sustainability goals. So this is the